I think most of you are going to go right to Desmos here, and that's fine. I don't hate that plan, but I do think that you should try your best to see if there's any quick answers you can eliminate just based on common sense. Because, these are going to be annoying to type into Desmos. It's a lot of fractions and stuff like that. There's negatives, you could mess this up. So it's better to kind of see if you can just like knock something out. So if we look at the two fractions, the two slopes of that were offered, 2/7 and negative 2/7 and negative 7/2, we should think about the fact that how those denominators are going to interact with our points, right? So 28 is divisible by 7 and it's divisible by 2. So multiplying 2/7 by 28, multiplying 7/2 by 28, both of them are going to produce nice even numbers. And that's good because look at our kind of result. It's supposed to be a nice even number, so that makes sense. But if we tried that with the 26, we'd have a problem, right? Because 26 is divisible by 2, but it is not divisible by 7, right? It doesn't work. So that's going to produce a decimal. You could confirm it with the calculator, but just like knowing your times tables here helps. So if you get rid of that, if you think about the 26, you should be able to get rid of choices A and B because we know that multiplying by a certain number of sevenths is going to cause a real problem because we're not adding back in any sort of fraction later that's going to even it out, right? We need to get an even integer, so it's not going to work. So then that really just comes down to choices C and D, and you could just, use the calculator here, right? Like the fact that the y-intercept is different for both is just telling us that we're not going to, one point plugged in here is going to work out. So you can just do, okay, what is negative 7/2 times 28? So I'm going to do 28 in my calculator times 7 divided by 2, and that would be negative 98. So negative 98 plus 23, that's not going to be 15, right? So that gets rid of C. And then if I did negative 98 plus 113, that's probably going to work. Negative 98 plus 113 is 15. So just like that, I'd be done. And notice, didn't go to Desmos. If I wanted to, I could have at this point. But like, I don't know, those are some big numbers, 113, right? You might have to scroll around. Even the x coordinates, 28 and 26, those are big numbers. You got to scroll around. So it might be tedious. Another way to do it, if you really want, again, I don't think this is faster, but we could create a table using this. So we can do a table, and we can do, okay, we have 28 is 1x, and then 15 is the y that goes with that. And then let's go down here, and 26 and 22, right? So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to make Desmos give me the line equation. So I'm going to tell it, okay, I want y1, let's see, y1, and I use the tilde, kind of top left of your keyboard next to the 1 key. That's telling it to make a regression. And then basically this is y equals mx plus b. So I can just do, okay, mx1 plus b, and I got to tell it the x1 and the y1 so it knows to go to that table. And when I do, it gives me the m and the b, right? So the b is clearly 113, right? So that checks off. And then the m is negative 3.5. Now, you could convert that to a fraction using Desmos 2, but you also hopefully know that that's negative 7/2, like it's just kind of intuitive. Plus, you might know that sevenths are really messy as a decimal, so that's not going to work out. But if you did want to convert it, I think we can just type m here and then see how it has negative 3.5. But if I hit this button to the left of the m, that looks like a fraction, it's going to turn it into 1, negative 7/2. So lots of cool things in Desmos. Again, I don't think this is the right way to go. I think it was better to just plug points into equations here, but I'd rather you get it right, whatever way that takes. So just be careful as you're entering things, but even still, if you were just entering the equations, you could then find the line and then have it, graph it for you. But you don't need to do that because if you know how to do these regressions, you can also kind of be really, really confident in your answer because it's just solving it for you. That feature is not super useful on the easy stuff, but when you get to the harder questions, that regression feature might be really useful. So I just wanted to use this as an opportunity to remind you that it exists.